Comes to an end. We're reflecting on some of the biggest news stories in North Central Florida. TV 2's Jordan Markov tells us some of the top web stories on WCJB.com this year.
Many TV 20 stories garnered much attention online this year, but the top stories were predominantly related to crimes. We start with a deadly home invasion in Northeast Gainesville in July. According to Gainesville police, two men, Alderius White and Jason Ward, entered a home and held the residents at gunpoint. The homeowner, Dovico Miles, was able to get a gun and force the gunmen from his home, but not before Delaney Armstrong was killed. The gunman, an accomplice, and the alleged mastermind behind the attack were all arrested. However, Miles, the homeowner, who is a convicted felon, was also charged because after the shooting, he hid the firearms. We turn now to the Gator football team, which lost a backup quarterback in November when Gainesville police arrested 19-year-old Jalen Kitna on child porn charges. The player was reported for sharing images of prepubescent girls on the social media site Discord. When his electronic devices were searched, more child porn images were found by detectives. Kitna was released on bond and will be staying with his parents in Texas as he awaits trial. Finally, people all over Dixie County aided in the search for a missing 14-year-old girl, which ended in tragedy. Demaya Appling disappeared on October 16th from her home in Old Town. Authorities have been tight-lipped about much of the investigation. On December 8th, remains found in the Sun Springs community of Gilchrist County were identified as Demaya. The case is considered a homicide. To stay up to date on the latest breaking news stories, visit WCJB.com or download the WCJB News app. Jordan Markov, TV 20 News.